Heard you passed up a chance to pose as Milli Vanilli.
I did not pass up a chance. We voted on who would represent our staff, and Deshaun and Coach Fry did a really good job. So.
Even if you had got a chance to do Mumford and Sons, would you have done it?
It had nothing to do with any of that. So.
Okay. I think it's fair to say attendance is a big metric in college football. How would you kind of evaluate how you've connected with the fans since you've been here?
Well, it's been 2 years now since we've had fans, so you're going back a ways there in terms of go back to what, the 19th season, I think?
Yeah.
So I really don't know what that, understand what that means.
Just outreach and going to events, booster events, things like that.
I go to whatever they ask me to go to. So I'm not in charge of the scheduling of it. That's all coordinated through the athletic department. We just had a nice kickoff dinner the other night. I thought it was really good. And it was good because it was the first time we got a chance to actually be around fans for since a year ago, or 2 years ago.
Is there anybody you know for certain is out on Saturday?
Not right now.
Does that include Somerville?
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything. Everybody's on a day-to-day deal, and we'll see how everybody goes through this whole process. And we sit down at the end of the week, and Ant tells me who's up, who's down, and we go from there.
There were 2 COVID positives in the athletic department last week. Can you say whether they were football players?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say anything. So
And you know, everyone's unavailable, Ben.
Everybody on our
Records,
team
you know
is
this.
unavailable.
Devin Okua and Jay Toya, are they eligible to play this weekend? And
Yes.
So, how many minutes do you think they'll...
We answered that last week, I think last Friday. So, and how many minutes, I have no idea. We have a whole week of training to go. So we got today is our first day of really a Monday for Hawaii. So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we sit down as a staff at the end of the week, and then we divvy up where we are and what we think our plan is going to be in terms of who's going to do what. And,
Back to
and
Hawaii.
a lot of that depends on the health of guys. So I've never, anywhere I've been, sat down on Monday and said, hey, this is the plan, because on Wednesday he rolls his ankle, and now that plan's out. So we just continue to train this week, and when we get to after Thursday, we got a pretty good feel because of what our Friday training session is like. So we got a pretty good feel of that, so we'll start discussing depth, minutes, snaps, and all that stuff in every phase, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams.
Back to Hawaii's defense. Todd Graham likes to run an aggressive style defense, but may not have the manpower to do it. They gave up over 200 yards a game on the ground last year. What do you expect to see Saturday from their defense?
They're always going to be a hard-hitting, aggressive, attacking defense. That's been Todd's mentality wherever he's been, whether it's Tulsa or Arizona State or Pitt or Hawaii. That's kind of his signature, and that's his baby. He's a defensive coach. I believe he calls the defense excellent stuff. So that's all him. His style hasn't changed. Sometimes how they do it. Is it a 4-down scheme? Is it a 3-down scheme? A lot of that probably depends on the personnel that he has available to him. But he's going to be aggressive, and we have to prepare for his aggressiveness.
Since you've been here, the defensive line stats have gone down pretty significantly every year. What do you see from the defensive line, and how do you think they're going to do with the pass rush on Saturday?
Gone down.
They've improved.
Yeah.
Gone up.
Your stats allowed for the other teams. They've improved.
Okay, you have me there for a second. Obviously, I think we've got some guys there. Otito, Mitchell Gude, bunch of guys up there up front. Ottawa, that can generate some individual pass rush where it doesn't have to be a schematic thing, where it's more of how do we scheme up the pass protection scheme. We have guys that we believe can win in one-on-one battles, and that's a credit to them. Those guys have really worked hard at their craft. So I think that's part of it. The good part for us is those guys are all coming back. Besides Osa, who left to go to the league, the rest of the whole group on the defensive front is back. So we're hoping we can get more improvement from them this year, and they've worked hard for it. So credit goes to those guys in terms of those guys being able to create things and win in one-on-one matchups. So.
This is the second year of Jerry and Brian working together. How do you feel that went last year, and how do you think maybe the second year of them could kind of improve that trajectory?
I think they all did a great job. I think our defensive staff, it's a group effort over there. It was Johnny Manson was added to the group. Jay's been here for a couple of years, and BP's been here for the whole time. So I think all of those guys work extremely well together. It's everybody, just like our offensive staff. We've been playing sit down and put things together. There's not one dominant voice in any aspect of it. We all kind of contributed and make a decision on what's the best interest.
There was kind of a drop-off though those last two games, particularly on defense, particularly late in those games. What did you see there in kind of your season review of the defense, the SC and the Stanford game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we faced two really good opponents, but we have to learn how to finish when we have a lead. You know, it's something overall for all aspects of us. You know, we got to finish on the offensive side of the ball and not give the ball back to them, to give them an opportunity to score. And then I think by the end of the year we had some depth issues where he got kind of run down there a little bit as the season went along. So, you know, I think the fact that we do have depth, and we think that's a strength for us going into this season, we hope we'll focus on those situations.
When you talk about being able to close out, is that mental, conditioning, some combination of both?
I don't think it's a conditioning thing with this team. I think a lot of it is maybe the opportunities for guys that hadn't played as they got going towards the end of the year, getting newer snaps at times. But it's everything. It's a mindset. It's being able to, on all aspects of it, because I think offensively you have to be able to finish too. You know, so if we can sustain and stay on the field for a long drive at the end of the game and not give the ball back to the other team, you know, that's part of our responsibility too. So I think it's a combination of all of that. And we've really talked about it in the offseason, and our players understand what you have to do. Good teams have to be at their best when it's needed, and that's what we have to really continue to work on.
It's always easy to second guess, but when you went back and looked at some of those fourth down plays that didn't work, what were you were you thinking maybe that you were a little monotonous in those situations? With some runs up the middle?
Monotonous? No, I've never used that term. You know, a lot of it's
predictable.
Schematically what the defense presents to you, and then, you know, how do you execute when it's called. You know, were we beat because it was an unblocked man, or were we beat because it was a fundamental breakdown? You know, and there's not one when you go through all of them. If it was always just one, you just say, if that's the issue, then you got to do this, and this. So there's different things that arise by each individual play, and then you just try to do your best to correct them and then move forward in terms of what you're looking for. But a lot of it depends on what the defense is going to present to you. Because you can say, hey, we're going to do this and attack the flank, but if they're blitzing four guys off the edge, then you're not going to be able to attack the flank.
Samarazzo, is he back playing in live session scrimmages, or is he still just...
Sam's in contact drills right now.
Okay.
And he's a kid that we need to evaluate as this week goes along, and then talk to the trainers in terms of where they feel he is at this point in time, and in terms of amount of snaps and what we can do from that standpoint.